Hello, welcome. This is my little shed, my little den. Few projects on the run, so it's a little bit messy. I just sort of took stuff out so you guys could have a look at it. Let's have a look at this one first. The Bark River knife. I didn't make this, but it's a pretty good knife. But the sheath that the knife came with, this is how it comes out the factory. From a bushcraft perspective, is probably not the best. You know, I mean, sticking a lot of the handle out of the sheath. I mean, if you take a tumble in rough ground or something, you can see this coming out. It's not secure enough. Also, it's a bit irritating because it rides so high, it sort of hits you here in the arm. So a local chap lives down the road from me, got this knife. He said, look, knock me up a little bit of a sheath for it, something better. So I came up with this. First go with this particular style of sheath, but it turned out alright. Nice 4mm veg tan leather. Kept it pretty simple, not too many bells and whistles. It's kind of like my style. Anyway, pretty happy with this. I think this is a big improvement on this. For anybody interested in bushcraft, even though the knife's not that bad, it's a pretty good knife. You know, there's no point having a good knife and a crap sheath. What else? What else can I show you guys? My little world here, my shed. So, I have to say that I love making firesteels. You may notice one or two lying about here. Here's a quirky one. Quite a quirky shape. This is caribou antler. We've got these strikers. I get most of this stuff from firesteel.com. I don't really like how they do these plastic handle strikers. I'd rather it would just be plain metal, but I might play around with it later, see if I can make something a bit nicer. But it does the job, it works. So I say a bit of a quirky one. It's a little bit off center. I really like this. Some people are probably going to hate it. This is your kind of small size for your pocket. I think they call this one the Ranger or something. They've all got sort of rather bizarre names, the Survival and the Armageddon and all this sort of stuff. But it's a good sort of pocket size on your keyring. Here's another one, a bit more of a conventional sort of shape in this one. But I've got into making some of the bigger sizes, which obviously last a lot longer. Probably you're going to more likely to carry this in your backpack. This is nice local wood called Mali. I got a lot of little offcuts of wood. It's kind of like not really useful for knives, too small. So I kind of been using it just to make a few handles, and it's kind of worth. I mean, this will last a few seasons, so it's worth taking the effort to make it a little bit nice. You know, it's just wood. To me, wood, antler, and leather, and all these materials just have a much more tactile. They feel nice, they look nice, and they do the job. You know, that's just how I like it. So that's another one. Use this braided leather here. I kind of like that. It's a nice one. Also, here's another one. I think this is probably about the coolest fire steel in the history of bushcraft, in my opinion. This one's a walrus tooth. I don't know, you can't really pick up on it on the camera, but it's just really nice. I'm really pleased with that. It's yeah, just turned out really well. Really simple again. But I had this tooth and I was like looking at it and wondering what to do with it, and you know, one day it just screamed fire steel, so we did it. And it's very nice. I like it. Here's another one. This one at first looks really crazy, right? And you're like, what's going on here? What's he doing? You know, one too many beers or something. But there is a kind of logic to this. This is a fire steel for a chap in the UK called One Arm Survival on YouTube. That's his YouTube channel. His name's Richard Moody. And this chap, he's a bushcrafty chap. He's out in the woods doing his stuff, but he's only got one good arm. He's got cerebral palsy, and one arm sort of not much good. So he does all his stuff, does all his bushcraft stuff with sort of one arm out of action pretty much. So he substitutes his foot a lot for what he's doing. So this one you put on the ground, put your foot where my hand is, you get your tinder, whether that can be the tinder there, just pretend, and then you use your knife or your striker. So it's a kind of like slightly modified or specially designed fire steel for using with the foot, so that it gives you that little bit of lift, so you get your tinder under here or here. I'll send it out to him. I'm making him a few things, see how he goes with it. Should work. I don't want to use it to try it out, I just want to leave it nice like that. So it's not quite finished yet, need to finish the details a bit. Okay, what else? I'll show you this one. Some stuff I make, I mean most stuff I make is a pouch, a knife, belt. It's kind of like has a practical purpose, you know, it's a bit of kit that does something, but occasionally it's nice just to make something that's purely aesthetic. It doesn't really have any practical purpose. This one's a sort of wolf tooth necklace that I made. It's quite simple, but I really like it. Sort of what's called a gaucho notch, which is you can adjust up and down. And this wolf tooth, which a chap in Alaska who knows I love this sort of stuff, you know, really love it, sent me. Again, you kind of, in this sort of horrible light we have, you just see a big white blur, but you have to take my word for it. It's rather fetching if you like that sort of stuff. Here's another one. This is my own quirky sort of haggis head version, if you will. This is sort of the Sami type coffee pouch, which is obviously, you know, a fair few hundred of these have been made, but this is my version. And what it is, in Australia obviously we don't have any reindeer, which is traditionally what this would have been made out of. So I've used kangaroo, and kangaroo is really, really top notch leather. Really, really strong. Looks great, feels great, especially if you get nice sort of veg tan stuff like this, which is like a little bit hard to get. Most of the stuff goes to the tourist industry, is chrome tanned or has the fur on it. But if you know where to go, you can get this. And yeah, I love this pouch, I have to say. Really pleased with that one. It's a really nice style of pouch as well. It works really well. It's a bit more sewing than maybe some other pouches, but it's worth it in the end. I've used this braided type cord just to add a little bit of texture and a little bit of contrast. It's worked well. So I thought I'd have a little bit of fun and look at tinder. And this is a little bit of a paperbark tree, local tree called Melaleuca, and this is pretty good natural tinder. And what I found in my experience is that natural tinder, like seeds, flowers off grass flowers, grass seeds and things like that, a little bit harder to get a fire started with natural tinder than man-made stuff. Man-made stuff's usually very, very sort of easy, you know, cotton wool balls and toilet roll and that kind of stuff. But this kind of stuff can be a little bit harder. And I find the best way to do it is kind of like, you know, really work it and really get those fine fibers sort of pounded up, almost like a pestle and mortar type thing. And then you have a kind of like a successful fire, or a successful ignition, I suppose. As well, if you kind of leave it a bit, if you just left it like this, chunky, and tried to light it, chances of success would be pretty small. So anyway, behind me, I got a little setup. I just thought I'd have a little fun, and this is a little bit of natural bark there, and let's see how many strikes. I'm going to take my beer with me, okay? Alright, you're going to wish me luck. This is live on TV, okay? Alright, I got my little firesteels.com striker here. I hope they're going to sponsor me. Here we go. Too high. Whoa! Alright, that's pretty effective. Off she goes. That's pretty good. One strike. You can't ask any more than that. Oh, yep, she's still going. Anyway, that was just a fun little video I did for you guys. Just talking about materials and stuff that I make. You know, nothing too serious. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a good day. Have a good day. Please leave a comment. Okay. Well, there you go. I'm gonna finish this beer. See you later, guys. Bye.